afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything amazing Propagandacast. Me, host Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda, the only sanctioned source of Communist 2 entertainment. Off here to 1 vs 1 on Arnhem Checkpoint. In the north, it is Tiefflieger fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the 1st Panzer Division with elite troops with infantry Panzergrenadiers. Versus in the south, it is SteffenBK fighting for the Soviet Union, Comrade Stalin. Taking on the role here of the 3rd Guards Mechanized Corps fighting for the motherland. With mechanized support, Guard Motor, and advanced warfare with triple infantry there. Certainly a emphasis there on Guards Infantry and Tiefflieger 45, sort of the shows the overlapping elements here between these doctrines. With triple conscript bulletins there for SteffenBK. We got engineers for the center wiring off there to prepare the battlefield over time for the arrival of the Germans. Tiefflieger, they're saying pioneers westwards. Got MG4 setting up with the grenadiers following up here for Tiefflieger and the Wehrmacht. But while going up here in the center, in the east we got conscripts moving up there, pushing for the resources there. Standard stuff here with the 2nd conscript moving westwards. SteffenBK in this way going for a broad approach, which of course has the advantage it allows to seize more territory in a sense. You know, again on a broad front. So he sort of has a better idea of what's going on in the battlefield. It sort of was getting locked down in one area, for example, which can sort of have you sort of go for more sharp, but of course you have more strength there. But as a Soviet, you're not usually looking to just win all of the engagements right away. You're usually looking to find favourable engagements and then win those, relying more on your mobility and larger numbers to that way envelop your opponent sort of tactically. We got more grenadiers on weather for Tiefflieger. Standard stuff so far. We'll have to see what follow-ups there down the road. Probably more grenadiers. Another MG42 could also be a handy move there. Sandbags up here by the northern victory point, or northeastern one. Securing points there, moving ahead for the the motherland. The Soviet Union. Conscripts sending out, they're going straight for the car opponent. Grenadiers MG42, a bold move there by Tiefflieger. Looking to disrupt his opponent's early game there. Tiefflieger makes a bold move, in this case to the MG42. Sadly, not quite fast enough, and in this case, Van Zager failed to block this, so that was less ground there for him. Grenadiers now taking a bit of casualty as they push for the car point, though. At the same time, this also means his left flank is really weak, and he's basically betting everything that SteffenBK is focusing hard on the eastern flank, but also will be drawn into Tiefflieger's eastern movement. If he just ignores them, I mean, that means he loses the resources there. But there you go. Conscript push back, almost getting wiped there. 3rd Grenadiers go on the way there. West side will see some heavy fighting between the pioneers and the conscripts. The pioneers can probably buy some time here for Tiefflieger, but in the end he's going to need to bring up more grenadiers to sort of have a chance at successfully buying enough time. 4th conscript, they're almost done here for SteffenBK. And we can see that SteffenBK is able to play around here. Tiefflieger's hard point, as he realizes he can't immediately deal with it, so rather than trying to deal with it pointlessly, he's basically going to try and play around it, which I think is a much smarter move there by SteffenBK. Much smarter move when you're using conscripts. Conscript moving up here, going straight for the grenadiers there, trying to hit them isolated. Also worth noting here that SteffenBK has molotovs up, which is definitely very helpful versus the Wehrmacht, since they can force them out of cover. And there's also a good way just to get a machine gun flank and molotov it and force it to reposition, otherwise it quickly risks dying out. Grenadiers are routed, got the car point there in the west, denying Tiefflieger his fuel. Of course, he's still being denied his own. Really close one there, but SteffenBK's last country there of that unit makes it back home for Borscht. West side there, conscript going for the western fuel point there. Tiefflieger's getting drawn into the center here rather than protecting his resource flow. That could prove to be a bit detrimental for Tiefflieger, but great for SteffenBK. Some allow him to catch up there with Tiefflieger, but also ensure that Tiefflieger doesn't rush too far ahead of him. And so far, Tiefflieger commits more resources to the center. They've got conscript coming up. He's pushing it back with machine gun. He knows his opponent's molotovs, I believe, so he also knows he can't really allow the machine to be caught in a bad spot versus the conscript. So we can sort of see here that SteffenBK tactically is really putting some pressure on Tiefflieger and sort of making it hard for him to do what he wants to do. Grenadiers heading out there, back here, nothing further going there for Tiefflieger. We got the tech, but he's going to need something out from it, obviously. Panzer Grenadiers would be a good sort of early addition. Stormtroopers down the road could also be a very good pick with the MP40s here. And take a lot more sharper corners here to find around the central town here, or township. He can still, sneak up with the Stormtroopers, do a lot of damage very fast. But he needs to get back the fuel now. In fact, now SteffenBK has both fuel points and most of the resources. Highlighting here how dangerous it is for Tiefflieger to just get it caught up and sort of fighting around the center. There's always something you want to be careful about, like getting too obsessed with one point. And particularly the center point. Like, there used to be a period of companies too time where most people just obsess over the center point and ignore the resources in a strange sort of dance, if you will. And there you go, Contact being pushed back. Got a bit of movement in the east, going to go safe for the fuel point. Good play there by Tiefflieger. Though he still needs to get his own fuel back, well, it's not going to matter much. First Pentagon squad almost done here for Tiefflieger, and for Deutschland, we also got 2 command points up, unlocking the G43s and the Stormtroopers. Straight there to the 8 infantry package here for the Pentagonadiers, increasing their firepower at mid to long range, but primarily long range there, notably. That sandbags and barbed wire here by the eastern fuel point. He's at least denying Steffen some, but the problem is Steffen is still getting a lot of fuel. He's just not getting twice as much, but he's still getting almost twice as much fuel. So Tiefflieger there really needs to sort of just shut down the fuel supply and of course increase his own, because it's not really good when your opponent's getting almost twice as much fuel as you. But so far that by Steffen's gone here for Garten Motors, coming here to some heavy mortars. Not a bad pick at all. It's not one we see a lot there, but heavy mortars are quite effective, if well handled of course. There you go, mortars over the Pioneers. Panzer opening with the G43s, come to taking losses as they give air 43 causes some harm there. We got mines that are disrupted. Molotovs off against the Gunners, got the force mount to the open. There we go, nice response there by Tiefflieger, moving towards the western fuel point finally. Panzer there doing heavy harm here, need to deal with the conscripts rushing towards them out in the open. There you go, push back, 4 kills so far. Gunners fighting about here. Panzer was there down to less than a half health. Still they're fighting for the German army. Might want to prioritise the engineers who actually got, direct access to the flank of the Panzer Grenadiers, I would say there. Pushing for the Corporal again, hitting a mine aim before 2 following up. Could go for some Stormtroopers just for immediate frontline pressure here against SteffenBK. And again, the MP40s could be very handy. Plus, would also allow them just to rush the Hay Mortar. So I feel like just a single Stormtrooper squad here would be a great investment for Tiefflieger, but I guess not. Is getting the medic bunker, which also I think would benefit Tiefflieger and the German army here nicely. But still, Stormtroopers are quite good. And I imagine we're seeing more G43s with the Grenadiers as well to just increase their firepower versus SteffenBK's conscious. I mean, it would be strange if we only upgraded the Panzer Grenadiers and none of the Grenadiers. Are they here more to them moving about? Got 1 kill on it so far. Tiefflieger there needs to be a bit careful. He's not playing SSOs, he's playing SSO, and he has to play a bit more focused and cautiously and judiciously. In this regard, he might actually want to go for tier 2 even if he wants to go rush tier 3, because he needs some sort of light vehicle to help control some of the larger swaths of territory here. That, or he might at least need another MG42 just to help sort of form up more strong points. He can sort of centre his defences around on. Again, going for the eastern fuel point, looking to harass, need to get back the western one, and he's surprisingly enough still not upgrading any of his Grenadiers. I'm a bit surprised at that. Grenadiers will need to retreat soon. I mean, he could pop a concussor grenade to help retreat, but either way, those Grenadiers are too low in health, I think, to really stall for much longer here. And there you go. Good retreat there by Tiefflieger. MD42 reinforcing. Grenadiers using the point here. Panzer Grenadier moving out with 7 kills so far to the name in service of Deutschland. Comes they caught laying down sandbags. Taking heavy damage here from the Panzer Grenadiers. And the Grenadiers, of course. Got 8 kills, closing in on Veteran 2-1 pretty fast. There we go. Conscripts routed there by Tiefflieger's Panzer Grenadier. Sees the western point. Like to make a nice cover here for Tiefflieger. Very good. A 2-2 could be a good investment, but so could a Flamethrower half-tech. Really would explain then why he's not upgrading his Grenadiers with any weapons, because he wants to preserve munitions. So now we've got the 10% command up for SteffenBK. That will likely mean the T. Well, that will mean the T7. It's not likely. It will mean the T7 in like 99% of the cases, unless SteffenBK is feeling he's so far ahead he can just go straight for the T34s, which would be definitely also bad news there for Tiefflieger. And that's sort of the situation there. Both T70 and a T34 rush is basically bad news for Tiefflieger at the moment. Pursuing the heavy mortar with the Panzer Grenadier, they got 11 kills so far for the German army. Pack 14 there for Tiefflieger is obviously worrying there about this SteffenBK heading in with a fast T70. A sensible worry, for sure. Grenadiers Mangis was there, Pack 40 almost done there for Tiefflieger. Going there for the mortar again, should probably prioritise taking that one out. Oh, direct hit here, causing grievous harm to the Panzer Grenadiers, and they're going to have to retreat. They're no longer combat effective. Well, they can still fight, but it'd be very costly for Tiefflieger, and would just feed SteffenBK experience and, 3 kills. Back at healing reinforcement, back in Tiefflieger's. Oh, SteffenBK forgot to finish it. That's a bit awkward. Great though for Tiefflieger, slightly delays things. Fun fact about the mortar, it was actually very popular with the Axis forces, so they just straight up copied it. Like the design, basically everything they just copied for it. So yeah, little fun fact there. The Germans used it, the Finns used it, the Romanians and the Hungarians used it. So that's a little fun note there about the 120mm mortar. Not something you hear a lot about. But he still hasn't finished the temp check out. It looks like he's about to do it. That's very good. Pack 40 here forwards for Tiefflieger and for the Fatherland. Grenadiers on the west side. I'm still surprised we're not seeing a lot of upgrades there for the Grenadiers. I mean, you'd figure he'd upgrade them, but he seems very hesitant towards doing that. He should call in some stormtroopers equipped with MP40s. Like anything that just hurt his opponent's infantry with up close, I think would be a very great investment here for Tiefflieger. As for SteffenBK, some guardsmen could be a good addition here, and maybe some mines here and there additionally, besides the one he's tried to lay down but got disrupted for. But SteffenBK, I would say, definitely handled the early game quite well versus Tiefflieger. He saw his weaknesses and he exploited them ruthlessly, which is really what you need to do as a soldier. You need to like find where your opponent is making mistakes and then you hit them hard and you punish them. If you can do that successfully, you can really make it difficult for your opponent to get a good sort of proper footing against you. Telemine up there, good spot by Tiefflieger. Might be explaining also why saving up munitions. More telemines is certainly not a bad idea either. They should definitely get more done than just one. Comes with that taking heavy damage. They do gain veterans 1 and we got, or 2. They have already reached veterans 1. We got 14 kills there for the Fatherland. They're quickly racking up those kills. And in the west, T7 between the Grenadiers. That's a fat chance of getting a wipe there on the Grenadiers. That's going to hurt Tiefflieger quite a bit. Their machine being flanked as well. And that's going to push the Pack 40 out of position as well. Not good there at all here for Tiefflieger. Oh, the Grenadiers do get away because it breaks off with a T70. An interesting move there by SteffenBK. Guess he was merciful or sloppy. Or perhaps a mixture of both. Mercifully sloppy. Bit of quiet here between SteffenBK and Tiefflieger. Going straight for the fuel point again. Tiefflieger needs to launch, I think, a more concerted counterattack. We also got Grenadiers finding upgrade there. That's very good as well. Very good as well. Pawnees need to retreat. And he has to get lucky then. Hope the T-70 rushes into the telemine. Fun fact, a German tactic involved actually strapping a bunch of telemines to a board, tying a string to said board, and then pulling the string and sort of dragging the board in front of a tank when it passed by there. That way taking it out. Or they'd also have a more, say, low budget version which just involved one telemine at the end of it. So that was less impactful. So a little fun fact there. Tech done, he's going to get the support cut fast, and particularly before SteffenBK gets out any armor that could give Tiefflieger here a bad day. Pack 40 shoots, misses, that hits an old truck, comes with that pin down to the ground. The T-77 proved to be an issue here for Tiefflieger. Certainly compounding SteffenBK's advantage here versus Tiefflieger. Good hit from the Pack 40. You might want to get down some more telemines if possible here and there. Anything that sort of help catch up the T-70 maybe. Or any other tanks that SteffenBK might be getting. We've got the mortar there back in action again. 2 kills, half 8 Tibetans 1 already. Maximum from the support company there, locking off the center. Good play there by Steffen. Panzer Grenadiers was the conscripts. Going for that big 2 point there. We got 204 versus 188. Tiefflieger situation looking a bit sticky here. Back here, troops seemingly reinforcing. Panzer support number 2 on the way there for Tiefflieger. You could certainly not having to go for Panzer section on those, so we could just go for more G33s as well. 17 kills here on the Panzer Grenadiers. 18 kills. The needs to have not stand around for too long against any mortar. Another telemine there, not too shabby. So he has been laying down some. I'm less sure about that one. I mean, obviously it's a bit of a harder sort of spot to detect in, but at the same time the question is how often a tank they will pass from this is all in a really, really bad spot. T-7 moving up here. Got the Pack 40 pointing in the wrong direction. Very unfortunate for Tiefflieger. Panzer squad need to retreat schnell. There goes second squad there being upgraded with G for the fusible. Grenadiers are backing up, and there you go, quick retreat there from SteffenBK in the west. He can build the support core, and he definitely should be building the support core as soon as possible. He's going to take him time to get out armor. He wants to be ready with it. Meanwhile there, Steffen is pushing for the mechanised armour company, and certainly I think on the fast lane there. Ward's getting out some armour here to give Tiefflieger a bad day. At this point, Tiefflieger might want to get out of Stug first, just to help counter enemy armour, because he's definitely not going to be one that gets the tank out first. And if he's correctly read his opponent's move, that is, he's gone guard mode to the T-35 is a very good possibility, in which case he really wants a Stug, because the Panzer IV is not going to cut it, in most cases. I mean, there might be a few situations where it does work, but there's a lot of situations where the Panzer IV just straight up loses very hard. Mechanized armor company done for SteffenBK and the Red Army. The 3rd Guards Mechanized Corps, the 1st Panzer Division is soldiering onwards. Mortar, there were 3 kills, close stretchings 1. 2nd Mortar, that's actually quite interesting there by SteffenBK. You don't see that often, but double Mortars can be quite punishing for your opponent. There's also just a psychological effect of those just massive explosions pressuring you, which could cause Tiefflieger to maybe make some rash decisions, but for now he needs to like get some tanks out. He needs to retreat those Panzer companies as well, like otherwise they're going to get murdered by the T-70, even then there's a good chance they might still be at the moment. He's cutting off his opponent's resources a bit there, so Palmer Corps still not happening. Panzerfaust on the T-70. Panzer sweeping up here, half H expecting 320 kills. Certainly quite the kill count. Quite the kill count. Mortar, they're firing away. 2nd one joining in the chorus. There we go. Tiefflieger with the Suprema Corps. He's likely going to go for the Panzer IV, but yeah. I mean, again, he should have an idea he's up against guard motors again. He should be figuring T-35s likely, and again, the Panzer IV is not favoured in that matchup. And while again on smaller maps you can probably get away more easily with supporting with a Pack 40, you kind of need something more fast and mobile to really support the Panzer IV properly. I mean, he doesn't have any Panzers with Panzerschrecks, and he certainly doesn't have ammunition for that, so while I can understand the Panzer IV, so, you know, shall we say the natural reaction is also a pretty, you know, dangerous one in this sense, because again it does ignore somewhat the T-35 possibility. That means he has to play his cards very carefully. He needs to then bring up a Stug very fast at backups at Panzer IV. SteffenBK there. Steff not going for the T-34-76, so he's either going for the T-35 or he's going for the H-5. And I'm guessing he's going for the T-35 because he's likely figuring use the Panzer IV because, well, most players just per standard reaction go for the Panzer IV no matter what, because again it is the safe choice. Unless your opponent's going for the T-35, but again, even then, there's sort of this, say, pattern of recognition where, like, even if it doesn't make sense, you still go for what is perceived as the safe choice. And that's basically what's happening here with Tiefflieger. He's just going for the safe choice because that is always, you know, the safe choice in air quotes. That's sort of the sort of thing you need to sort of keep in mind when playing the game. Are you going for something because it's actually the right choice, or are you going for it because it is in the air quotes safe choice? Because sometimes, air quotes, safe choices are actually not safe choices, they're just choices you don't have to think much about because that's what everyone else does. In that sense, they're safe because, you know, it's what everybody else does, but they're not necessarily the best or the actually safest choices. Panzer IV moving ahead to the 1 kill though. SteffenBK very close to the T-35, and there you go, T-35 there on the way for SteffenBK. I mean, we have seen players, you know, defeat T-35s using Panzer IV, so obviously some can do it, and there's, you know, a lot of factors there, but sort of by standard logic, a Panzer IV is just sort of not the optimal choice versus the T-35. You know it's coming. It is not the optimal choice. Panzer IV moving in there. Good hit there. I mean, he takes out a lot of conscripts. It's great versus the infantry, which of course is one reason to go for it. But again, it performs not optimally versus the T-35, which has more health, very crucially a bit more armor, and better penetration. Meaning, in most situations, again, unless you get lucky, the T-35 will beat your Panzer IV until you sort of overextend your Panzer IV, and it doesn't have any support. And right now, his Panzer IV is very much overextended. So we got 117 versus 481. He's managed to sort of stabilize, but of course that's going to change One SteffenBK's T-45 here goes straight for the gut there of the Panther 4. He's going to try and bait it into the Tellermine. Pack 40's nearby, but it's going to be a bit slow. They've got the target wait point ready, and there you go. Tellermine goes off, damaging the T-45 there heavily. If he can finish it off, that'd be great. But the question is, can he? We got Panthers moving on there, but we got T-70 charging in from the south, flanking the Pack 40 here. Good supporting move there by SteffenBK. And means the T-45 there might actually make it out of there. I mean, he lost the Panther 4 again without really achieving much with it, except kill a few conscripts. Instead, ends losing the Pack 40 hits to SteffenBK. So this is not a great situation for Tiefflieger. He's now very wisely going for the Stug, the Stug 3G. And hopefully he will handle that one a bit better than he handled the Panther 4. Because one of the reasons why Tiefflieger lost the Panther 4 so easily was not just, you know, he went for a Panther 4 in the first place, but he overextended the Panther 4 aggressively without any support, which obviously made it a much easier target for SteffenBK. And if you do go for a Panther 4 against the opponent, it's likely going to go for the T-45. What's going to really matter with the Panther 4 is supporting it properly, which is obviously what Tiefflieger failed to do there. So hopefully a few lessons there have been imparted upon my viewers to hopefully improve upon their game. You could try and get it lucky with the incendiary pins around the rear of the T-70, which could actually take it out there, or just get lucky with the regular rounds. Yep, took it out. T-70s do have weak ram, and the machine guns do have some light penetration bonuses. But there you go, Stug 3G, G out here for Tiefflieger. And the Deutsche Wehrmacht T-45 almost good to go. Again here for SteffenBK, charging ahead with the Stug, need to be careful. Remember, it's a Stug, and while it is a glorious piece of German machinery, it's not a Tiger tank, which is what seemingly Tiefflieger here forgot as he charges in his Stug rather magnificently, foolishly, allowing it to get easily outmaneuvered by the T-45 there, and pretty much also negating most of the advantages of the Stug while emphasizing its weaknesses, which includes not exactly having a turret, a good line of sight. Like, that was really, I think, poorly conceived there. Tiefflieger, he might have gotten a bit tilted by some of the losses he just sort of rage charged in there against SteffenBK, but that just made the Stug so much easier to kill, and rather think sort of removed a chance that to maybe sort of stage some sort of comeback versus SteffenBK again after having lost his Panther 4. But again, at least he did get the T-70, but I'd say a Panther 4 and a Stug for a T-70 is not exactly a good trade. Unless you're Donald Trump. Panthers there retreating, got Veteran Infantry 1 there, Grenadiers hosing away. Troops there reinforcing needs to push there for the western point. 2 kills, Veteran Infantry 1. Pack 4 they're taking heavy damage, and certainly the double hay mortars makes it harder for Tiefflieger to actually use the support weapons, because the hay mortars can actually very quickly deal a lot of damage and risk, you know, wiping them out. That sort of, you know, creates a problem there for Tiefflieger in that sense as well. So good play there by SteffenBK strategically. I mean, it's an interesting strategy. You don't really see a lot of heavy mortars as of late, but as SteffenBK shows, in the hands of a good player, they can really be nasty. Panthers here, the Value 24 kills, ace level. Certainly giving SteffenBK's comes there a very, very tough time with their G43s and their years of experience. And there you go, T45 hits a mine, but once more Tiefflieger, because he tossed away his Stug, lacks way to quickly punish it for it. Such a shame, such a shame. Great though for Steffen. Great for Steffen. Back here, troops in reinforcing. Whoops.
The enemy has broken our supply lines.
Hey, mortar flying down against the Grenadiers. Because they're getting hosed down, they got back to 200 Panzer Grenadiers. Pioneers there reinforcing. Conscripts routed. He's going to have to go for another Stug, and hopefully played a bit better than the first one. Hay mortars there being routed. We got still the maximum of the church, and Tiefflieger lacks any artillery, of course. The double hay mortars about, he's not exactly being incentivized towards going for mortars of his own, because if he tries now, he's just going to get like double hay mortar barrage, and you know, no amount of counter barrage buffs, unless again they turn it insane, it's going to help against that. So right now the situation with Tiefflieger is very precarious and very sticky. Still he's trying with the head on assault, using a lot of infantry, though it's going to require a lot more speed and alacrity, because otherwise the heavy mortars will decimate his forces. There we go, Fountain shattered alongside almost all the Grenadiers. Panthers are flanking in. T45 moving up, got a Pack 40 on the watch. Second Pack 40 nearby, not pointing quite well there. Oh, got the maximum. Small win there for Tiefflieger. Got him fuel cash, got for Steffen. Supporting more tanks down the road. T-3476 on the way. Very good. All conscripts Veteran Infantry, noting he has not mobilized any reserves there. Panzer there being routed. Of course he doesn't have to, but it certainly wouldn't hurt, I think, SteffenBK to go for some slightly larger squads. I think Tiefflieger's trying for another Panda 4. That's very ambitious with that many tanks out, and in particular in T-35s there. T-34 taking a few hits from the Pack 40s, almost take down half up. Construction there for the Pack 40. Oh, he's backing right into line of fire the Pack 40 here. Of course, there's the other T-35 there. There we go, good hit on the T-34-76, almost got it. Pack 40 about to get wiped, guns coming from the north, MB-4 coming as well there. Incendiary pistol rounds could be added, rifle grenades going off, almost got the Pack 40. Maximum crew there being hosed down. T-35 advancing. And there you go, incendiary pistol rounds being loaded up from these farms out to the restaurant there. Pack crew wiped out, constantly pushing ahead here. Pack 4 needs to get up there, we've got some light damage, there you go. Pack 4 landing a good hit there on the rear armor. Pushing back SteffenBK's T-35. And there you go, could go down, could go down. Will they go down? Yes, got a wipe there on SteffenBK. Small win here for Tiefflieger and the German army. He's actually managed to bring some sort of parity between the two forces now, but the situation for Tiefflieger is still precarious since he's at 96 versus opponent 457. So Tiefflieger still has a long way to go to win this. At least his options are looking better and sort of more hopeful in the chance of the whole actually winning the game. But it's still going to be a steep climb. Going here for the T-35, we could take that out. That'd be big there for Tiefflieger. That'd be very big, since obviously eventually 2 T-35 is bad news for Tiefflieger, because obviously this may be getting a tank advantage versus Tiefflieger, or for against them. It would be great for Tiefflieger there, but now his Panther Force are extended and has some infantry support. Good rule of thumb, you always want infantry to work with your tanks, and if you've got Panther Grenadiers, you know, use those. I mean, they get bonuses for working with your tanks, for heaven's sake. But also another way to put it, I mean, by the late stage of the war, the Germans had even had, you know, infantry escort platoons specifically designated for their tanks, you know, as part of sort of the late war organization. So that is something that they're worth keeping in mind, you know, as maybe a sort of a learning lesson. And before that, Stug sort of were the ones to really get it before all of that happened. But for example, first the Stug brigades, but later, you know, when the Stugs were attached to infantry divisions were specifically instructed to always have escort platoons, you know, with assault rifle, for example, meant to escort the Stugs and sort of work with them. 29 kills on the Panther Grenadiers, though. There we go, routing the conscripts, probably going to hit 30 soon. Grenadiers get wiped out, small loss there for Tiefflieger and the German army. Max is back in the church. Loss of the Panther 4, that certainly hurts. But at least the T-35-85 is gone. And Steffen's not looking at any tanks. I mean, Tiefflieger's right now is actually looking like he's winning. He's getting most of the map. He's got certainly some rather hardened elite infantry. He's getting, you know, a lot of resources, really. So if Tiefflieger doesn't do anything stupid now and sort of keeps things up, he might actually have a good chance of beating SteffenBK after SteffenBK, you know, himself made a few mistakes. But, you know, Tiefflieger did make some good moves here and there. But still, it's going to be tricky. Telemines down there, very good decision. He's got 96 versus 114. Grab the eastern fuel point as well. He's going up. Hey, mortars, they're definitely a problem as they do very much to threaten just to wipe any of Tiefflieger's stuff if he's not careful. Double concuss with their grenades tossed away. Maximum away for SteffenBK and the Red Army. Got the Ace Panzer going to do the reinforcement. Got a Stug on the way for Tiefflieger. He's probably assuming more T-35s, which is not a bad thing to assume, really. If your opponent's gone for some, they're likely going to go for more. So Stug there makes a lot of sense for Tiefflieger, though he still needs to support them properly. Like, that really seems to be one of Tiefflieger's main issues. He's not very good at coordinating armor and infantry. We got here 10 kills and we got 6 kills, until the 16 kills on the 2 heavy mortars. And before setting up the ace little ball late, very good. Maximum in the center, catching up the Ace Panzer going to do there. Okay, mortar fire flying down there. Almost got the Sturmgeschütz ready, and there we go. Stug 3G gefechtsbereit. Max and they're losing out to the Panther Grenadiers there, since they're unopen and the Panther Grenadiers are in heavy cover. But they're against it, retreating, probably due to the threat like the double heavy mortars. He's probably worrying that Steffen might just begin barraging them. At which point, you know, 2 heavy mortars barraging his Panzer, and it is the chance of them getting out of that one alive is very, very small. Also, my apologies about Basil in the background. He gets a bit like that at times. Going to moving up here for the cut-off point, Panzer moving westwards. Half feet of Veteran Infantry. Stuke moving up. Adding the pin-up machine gun, very good upgrade there. Panzer trying to flank MD-40 here, but the MD-42 should be able to pin them. And, oh, ends up retreating them anyways. So defending the eastern resources very successfully. He should try and flank up here, maybe hit the hay mortars. If he can get rid of those hay mortars, that'd be, I think, a great move for Tiefflieger. Even if he could steal them, that'd be even better, to be honest. Turn them against SteffenBK would be a massive issue for SteffenBK. Massive. Humongous. Colossal. Go for the heavy mortars, Tiefflieger. Focus on the heavy mortars. Like, your Panzer is not going to clear out that fuel cache anytime soon anyways with just G43s. But yeah, he's... Oh, he might actually lose them if he's a bit unlucky with the 2 heavy mortars firing at the same target. And there you go. Almost got the entire unit. They're down to a tiny, minuscule sliver of health. The only thing keeping them together is probably the fact they'll be, you know, shot if they die. However that works. It was Field Marshal Shani. He might actually try to make right of that threat. So that guy was a bit nuts when it came to executing people and discipline. Panzer's managed out there. Gun is retreating. Got more telemines down there. Like he's being thorough with the telemines. That deserves a thumbs up. But his armor play definitely could do with a bit of polish. And a stern instructional lesson from Guderian. There we go. Tiefflieger on the way there for Steffen. He's also finally going for some guards riflemen. Need to be careful not to send the Stuke ahead of the rest. He only wants some infantry screening the Stuke, and then the Stuke support sets units advancing. Shooting away, they're doing some light damage. Troops healing reinforcing, getting ready for the next big push for the German army. Guessing it's going to go for another Panther 4 here. Tiefflieger almost done there for Steffen. Almost I'd recommend just going for an Ostwind and then the Stuke and then another Ostwind, double Stuke. I think will sort of work out quite nicely. And there we go. Once more pushes the Stuke a bit too far, gets, you know, punished. He needs to work it better with his infantry. Got Panzer as a consequence on the western road there as he sort of advances there, trying to maintain good map control versus Steffen. He's having some good success with that now, but his armor plate still, I don't know, leaves something to be desired. Unless you're Steffen, in which case it's great, it's amazing. Usually you don't listen to your opponent for stuff like that. Panzer, they need to retreat. There we go, Panzer come flanking away for Tiefflieger and the 1st Panzer Division. Maximum Hosing, of course, got the double heavy mortars, 7 kills, and we got 11 kills. Keeping pace with his others slightly. Also, that pack 40 is a real pain in the arse here for Tiefflieger, since, you know, a 6-man pack is really difficult to deal with. Pack 40 about to get wiped out, Pioneers moving up. Hay mortar farmers taking out again. Those hay mortars are really sort of paying themselves off here for SteffenBK by now. Really a big sort of thorn in Tiefflieger's side. And also just highlights that Tiefflieger has no artillery of his own, and also does have any easy access artillery that, you know, not immediately get wiped off the face of the earth by the heavy mortars. Like, he would have to go for the heavy Panzer Corps and get out Panzer there. It would be very expensive comparatively, and ultimately he couldn't get any other additional armor, you know, other troops to deal with SteffenBK. So it really puts him in a tight spot here. Really great investment there with SteffenBK, really great. Panzer was there with 33 kills. And we finally get some Stormtroopers out there in response to Grenadier Squad getting enlightened and the MP40s, very good. Still think you should have had them soon and sort of, you know, maybe gone for the hay mortars with them. Got Geballte Ladung and... oh, got a white, very good there for Tiefflieger. That's good for Steffen. Panzer moving up here, Panzer almost wiped out, but we've got a few survivors, and the Max in the west is just in full retreat there, hightailing it as they're pursued by a Panzerkampfwagen 4. SteffenBK's T-55 advances. Murderous intent in the heart, in the crew's hearts, and there we go. Then a good hit with the pack forward in the T-55, piecing the frontal armor. And it was only really the turret armor that was thicker, like the main chassis still had sort of roughly, I think, 45mm of sloped armor, which had its limits in terms of effectiveness. MD42 there with 13 kills, adding in 10 pistol rounds. Again, I like he uses it sort of actively. It's a bit of an overlook, a bit of against one that can really do a lot for you in a lot of situations. And certainly, if you're one where you want to like get better at the Wehrmacht, just try and remember to use this ability sort of at right times, even just occasionally even at like the wrong time, because it can really just give you a really big punch sort of against your opponent in engagement, sort of in some cases really just hurt your opponents. Tiefflieger that keeps advancing his tanks on their own with limited support. It's about to lose his Panzer IV here. This is... yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Moving up the Stug, so he's kind of doing the same with Stug. There's theoretically some infantry support here, though. Moves it in a bit blindly there. Need to be careful, keep distance. Good hit there, though. Still got the Stug down to half health, which is less good, but at least it's in one piece, unlike the first one, which did not fare so well. Stormtroopers hiding out there, MP40s in their hands, ready to mow down any allies that put their heads out a bit too far. Troops healing and forcing, Panzer IV routine repairs. Partly is of course the minesweepers allowing them to repair faster, effectuating those repairs a bit more swiftly here. We got 52 versus 339 there. Got Stormtroopers up close to the tactical advance there, hosing down the guardsmen, just gutting them, almost taking out the entire unit. Certainly shows what a good, well done or handled Stormtrooper squad can do for you. So good work there by Tiefflieger. I just wish I could say the same about his tank handling. Gone to the rest of the Pack 40. Pack 40 advancing there. A bit reckless there for Steffen. Of course, still has him nearby, and he's going for another T-45. SteffenBK knows where the gold is, and it's beneath the treads of the T-45. Panther 4 moves up, engaging the conscripts. Pack 40 shoots, penetrates the Panther 4's frontal armor. Panther 4 they're about to get knocked out by the T-45. Again, highlighting Tiefflieger's slight issue with those sending his tanks a bit too much without any support. Stormtroopers dealing with engineers. We've got 7 kills so far. Although he most got wiped with heavy mortars, which again, also just a really great investment for SteffenBK. I mean, this double heavy mortar strategy has been really amazing for him. There we go. T-45 engine damage to getting better into one. Stormtroopers get wiped out. It's a significant blow there to Tiefflieger. And of course, there's still the Pack 4 in the way, so he can't easily pursue the T-45 with the Stug. Unless, of course, want to risk losing the Stug to the Pack 40. So that basically saves SteffenBK's T-45 there. Stug, there's very close to Stug. We got the T-45 moving in there. Need to get the other Stug up to support. Need to work them together. He's going to lose the Stug here. Might even lose the other one. Now he's trying to manage the other Stug. He got marked there as well. And there you go. Stug explodes just as it's ready to the Schützen. All wasted. Now the other Stug, of course, trying to go. He's already getting flanked here with the T-45. The situation for Tiefflieger is abysmal, to put it very mildly. The situation, I would say, for Tiefflieger is pretty terminal, and there you go, second Stug kaput. As SteffenBK just sighs through him like, well, sighs through wheat. Pack 4 destroyed, denying Tiefflieger sort of any attempts to maybe get that pack back in action. Need to get those Panzergrenadiers moving. But he has very little left here versus SteffenBK. He's going to have to go for another Stug and probably some Pack 40s, and even then, like, it's not impossible. It's already managed one unit to get wants to get back against SteffenBK, but the odds of it, I would say, are slim with 2 T-35s now on the field here, plus of course the double heavy mortars, which again are really doing some heavy lifting here for SteffenBK as the match goes on. 36 kills on the conditional light machine guns, very good. 41 kills on the Panzergrenadiers with the G43s. Quiet here, we got Pack 40 on the weather for Tiefflieger. Another Panzer up by Canone 40. We got more telemines. I mean, I've really got to commend Tiefflieger for laying down all those telemines. I just wish some of them were slightly better placed. Tiefflieger being fixed up. Good handling there by SteffenBK repairing his stuff. You got the Pack 40 almost done there for Tiefflieger and the 1st Panzer Division. Lots of tiller mines here. Lots of tiller mines. Next coming up here. I definitely feel like this is not the most optimal usage of the Panzer Grenadiers, to be honest. 14 kills there. Moving ahead. On the conscripts here, we got 36 kills, 19 kills on the conscripts. Worth noting is yet to upgrade any of them with larger squad sizes. And there you go, Panzer pushed out. But now we got the T-35 down the scene, at which point the Panzer Grenadiers' chances of not getting annihilated, I think, are pretty slim. So they just have to retreat, Pack 40 out. They can go for another stew, but the question, of course, will Tiefflieger go for another stew? And would even then be able to do much with them? Committing to another Pack 40 here. We got 46 points left there for Tiefflieger. And for the German army, and there you go, in the east we got the MD42, the caught out in the open here by SteffenBK's T-35. Tiefflieger at this point just seems most going through the motions. I don't think he's got any sort of realistic expectation of winning this anymore. T-35 charging through, we got 39 points left. And there you go, GG, game over. A nasty brutish battle here, certainly highlighting how to play the swords very efficiently there by SteffenBK. The hay mortars were great, but also just how he chose to engage Tiefflieger all the time, looking for any sort of points where Tiefflieger just, overlooked certain parts and then just swinging in hard there. The resource disruption ensuring that Tiefflieger couldn't get out armor too fast, I think was also very crucial there. I mean, Tiefflieger certainly made some mistakes. His armor handling in particular needs work on, needs to get better at working his tanks with his infantry, in particular the Pentagoners, which again would have been able to support the tanks quite nicely. So, I mean, at least it shows, I guess, the Panzers with G43s are good. I still think prefer them with assault rifles. I think it just works better for supporting your tanks instead of clearing out stuff fast. But at least in long engagements, they do pack more with punch. It's sort of more like now the veteran squad upgrade for the Grenadiers. Like, sort of short term, it may not seem like a match, but in sort of prolonged engagement, they do pack more with punch, similar to the Grenadiers of the veteran squadrons, except you don't get a 5th man here, which I suppose would make it a bit too good at this point. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, and of course, press the bell button if you do subscribe. Share it with your friends, but not your enemies. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you all for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.